This conference will now be recorded.
Can you hear me? Is my voice audible? Can you hear me? Is my screen visible?
This conference will now be recorded.
We'll start the session in next 2 minutes. We'll wait for Shani. If not, we'll start after 2 minutes.
Sure.
Hi, Shini.
Yeah, hi.
Somehow I can see your name twice. Not sure. Technical issue. Twice in the screen. Okay, we'll start today's session. So yesterday I was discussing about this inheritance concept. So we are going to continue on the same thing, but with some demos and other things. How this is going to work out, we are going to see. Okay. So my idea was already shared. Now let me share my presentation also. I'm creating a class now to simply explain uh, some basic template about inheritance. Then I will actually do a complete code on the inheritance demo. So for that, I am creating one new class now. I'm going to name that as inheritance demo. Okay. So now I'm going to create a class and simple class only, no business logic, nothing. Just yesterday I was orally explaining you, right? Class A is getting something from class B, class B is getting something from class A, right? That I'm going to demonstrate as an example. So I have a class called simple naming convention only I'm using, something called A. The name of the class itself is A. And I have two variables. One is int A equal to 10, other is int B equal to 10. Say I have two variables here. And I have another class B. And here I have a variable called int C. That's it. I'm not initializing any variable. Simply I have a variable called int C. So now I have some work. Okay, I am in need of these two variables A and B in class B. Okay, these two variables, what are variables I already created in the previous class, I want it in this current class. So instead of I am going and duplicating the values like int A
Yeah, UV, we are not able to hear your voice.
UV, you're not audible.
what I can do here is I can create the inheritance between these two classes. You understand, it means that going forward, class A will be called as
UV, you're not audible.
the value of A.
Hi, UV.
I'm
Uh,
printing
UV, we
this.
completely lost you. Hello? Hello?
Am I audible to you now?
Yeah, now
Can
it's clear, but last few minutes we could not hear your voice.
I think you would have till the phone was extending this and I was telling different names. Were you able to listen to those things? Child class.
Yeah, still it's not clear, UV. Like it's like we are losing the voice in between. Yeah, we heard till that you have declared class A and class B. Yeah, up to that, from after that we lost everything.
Is it audible now?
Yeah, now it's audible. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, some network issue now and then I'm getting. Okay. So I was telling about this class declaration. You told that you are able to hear till that point, right? So let me repeat what I was told. So in class A, I have two variables. One is int A equal to 10 and B equal to 10. And I have one more class called class B. In that I have only one variable called int C. Okay. But still I want to use the two variables A and B in this class. When I try to access, it was showing me an error and it was telling that there is no declaration about A or B in this particular class. So, but still I want to use it. There are two ways to use. Very first way is duplicate the same steps, duplicate this line number 3 and line number 4 in this particular class. That is not recommended, okay, because why we are going for this hoops concept, it's mainly like reduce the duplicates, like you have to reuse it. That is the main slogan, like reusability is the main thing whenever you go for any programming concept. So when I go like this, it is not the recommended. So the correct hoops concept is to reuse the code from some other class. We can do the inheritance concept. To establish the inheritance, what I did is I used a keyword called extends and I put A. So when I do like this, what is happening is going forward, this A and B, there should be a inheritance concept. So B will be the child class of A. So the other name for the class A going forward is parent class. Either you can say it as parent class or base class. Any of these name you can give. Similarly, you can say this class B as a child class, derived class,
or subclass. So three names we used to give. So here also for the parent class, you can say superclass, something like that. So these are the different naming conventions we follow for this classes after we establish the inheritance. Now, previously it was showing me an error when I tried to access the variables here. It was showing me an error. But now it is not showing me any error at all. I can very well access the variable A and B, though I didn't declare this variable in this particular class. It is declared in the base class only, but still I'm able to access. When I run this code also, it will print it and it will show it to me. So usually how this constructor, I've added this code inside the constructor only, right? So how can I do it is, I can have some code in the demo class. I can add this main method, and inside this main method I can create one object. Simple thing is, for B class I'm going to create an object, and whenever I create an object, what it will do, the constructor will be called. Nothing else I'm doing. Simple code only I have added for our understanding purpose, just to demonstrate that I can able to print the value of A and B, the variable A and B in the class B. Though it is not declared here, I'm able to do. That's what I'm trying to demonstrate. So now I'm running this code. If you look at this, it's printing A and B. As usual, C is printing 0 because it didn't have any value for C. As it is integer variable, it is showing the value of 0, the default value of 0. So this is all inheritance. Like this, whenever you are in need of any method from another class, instead of relating the instead of duplicating the particular task, what you can do is you can establish the method called inheritance.
Yeah, hi, Yuvi, your voice is breaking again.
UV, you're not audible at all. Hello?
Now I'm sharing the screen. Okay, I've told about two types, right? This is level. Okay, the left hand side, whatever you're seeing is level. And the right hand side, I demonstrated this only. That is class A, it inherited in class B. So I was establishing the parent and child relationship. Later on, I have established a relationship between B and C. So this has become the parent for access the data of class A. So the child established between these two classes gives me the advantage of accessing the data from class A also. It's called multi-level inheritance. And one more concept available called hierarchical inheritance. So hierarchical inheritance is nothing but one class is inherited in two classes. That is, I was using the term called extends A, right? So class B extends A, and similarly, I can extend the class A in this C also. So this is called hierarchical. So just simple change in the coding. In the multi-level, what I did, class B extends A, I put right. And in this, I said class C extends B. But here, I'm inheriting from the same class. Two different classes is using a single class as the parent. So there are two children, but one parent. So this is called hierarchical. And multiple inheritance, it's not possible for a class. But if you really want to do that is, a child has two parents. Okay, class A and class B wants to become the parent for class C means for it is not possible at the class level, but there is a concept called interface. There I will cover this in detail. For now, I'm keeping this aside. This multiple concept I'm keeping aside. Hierarchical alone we can see now. Okay, so there are three things. One is single, multi-level, and hierarchical. So these are the things. So let me go back to my editor and I will show you the hierarchical. So hierarchical is very straightforward. In my screen, if you look at this, I have a base class called A and I'm extending that in this, okay, this class B. I'm extending this in the class A also. Okay, so class C extends A. It means class A now become the parent for class B and class C. Now there is one change here. The existing code work for other thing except this because I don't have the multi-level inheritance. That is, there is no connection between the class B and class C going forward because the class C is accessing the parent, that is class A directly. There is no connectivity between the class B and class C. You might be asking me a question, that is, I already established a relationship between these two classes, right? Class B and class A. Already the parent-child relationship is there. So why I cannot access the value of class B through the parent? Okay. Simple example is, if you want to get any characteristic from your parent, yes, it is possible. Either your physical appearance or your character wise or genetically, whatever it is there, it is possible. Like whatever your parent has, you can get it. That was has happened in the multi-level. That is, the parent B has something and that I was able to access in this class. Okay. But now this case is entirely different. That is, I'm trying to access the data. That is, child says that I have some characteristic. I have a blue eye. Can my parent get it? That is not possible, right? The vice versa is not possible. From your parents, you can get your physical appearance. From the child, the vice versa is not possible. That's why, though there is a parent-child relationship between the class B and class A, I cannot access the value, this integer I have declared, right? int C. I have declared only in class B. This is the declaration I have done in the class B, right? That I cannot use it anymore here. It is showing me error, so I have to comment it out to run my code. Clear? Because now the class C is directly calling the A as the parent. It is bypassing the class B. So this is the hierarchical inheritance, that one of the type I've shown in the PPT now. So same parent for two different child. Okay, so common parent, class A is a common parent for both B and C. But what we are expecting here is, if I have some character, it has to be passed to my sister. If my sister has some character, it has to be passed to me. Okay, if it is by birth available, means it is possible. But over a period of time, my sister got some character that I want to be in my own. It is not possible, right? Same thing from class C, you cannot access class B data. Clear? The types of inheritance.
Yeah, yeah, you just one question. Suppose if we at runtime when we are creating a object for example, sorry, what is this? For object C, so will all the variables be available as instance variables, or they will exist in different objects? For
Say
example,
for
we are
example,
creating
yeah, go ahead.
object of C, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So in
Yeah, go
that
ahead, it's
case,
understand.
within the object, will A, B, and C be available, or only C is here and A and B will be in the other object A?
No, no, you can very well see. You're creating here, right? So now I have the object C.
Okay,
Can you see? A is there, demo variable is there, B is there. I can access.
okay. So all this object will have a separate copy of these variables, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Thank
Copy in the sense like again in a memory, the very first day I was telling about this object creations, right? That box dimensions. Similarly, unless and until this extends keyword, that relationship is there, I can access it. If in mid
you.
of
Oh,
your programming, if you delete it or something, it will be gone.
okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
And coming back to interview question, there are some questions you can accept in this inheritance. I'll be showing a demo anyway, the detailed demo. This is a, I would say that very basic demo, but with a real-time example, one inheritance demo, we are going to run it. So interview question is, can all properties be inherited? Okay. So the answer is no. You cannot inherit all the properties. Why? In the sense, constructors cannot be inherited. So I can inherit the methods, I can inherit the variable from the parent class to a child, but constructors I cannot do. And the private data also I cannot inherit. So it is meant only for that particular class, so I cannot inherit the private data also. And one more interview questions what you can expect is, which class is the super class for all the classes? Okay, this one I purposely told you, that is whenever I create a class here, if you look at this class, I have a class created, and even the same example I can take object C dot. Okay, here you can see there is a variable called A and demo variable is there, B. These three variables I very well know. These A and B are from class A, and demo variable is from the class C. But you can see so many methods are also available for me. Where these methods are all shown. Okay, so by default, whether I am doing the extends keyword coding or not, whether I'm creating a inheritance concept between these classes, there will be a parent class by default. Okay, that is called object class. There is a class called object class. Okay, this is a class. For you to see, I'm just by there will be a implicit inheritance established between all classes with this object class. So this object has some methods. Methods will have. This methods or all classes, that's a super class, which is nothing but the object class. That's why when we are calculating the inheritance class, because the object class is the super class for all the classes by default. So this interview question also you can expect whether you are specifying or establishing the parent-child relationship between these two classes. You can very well see those methods here, because in Java it is implicitly done. You don't need to explicitly do a inheritance for that particular class. Okay, now we are jumping on to the actual demo for the inheritance. Say for example, I have an employee and a manager. So recently, the organization has decided that I want to give some benefit. Okay, now that recession and other things are all going on, but still, for an example, I'm taking this. For managers alone, they are planning to give some special bonus. For employees, they will have the regular salary hike and other things. But a manager, they said like they have performed something good or some other reason, they feel that to this year they're planning to give some special bonus to the managers. So this is the problem statement we have taken. So this is a requirement. So what you have to do is, when you are calculating the salary for an employee, that should be different. When you are calculating the salary for the manager, that should be different. So these things we are going to consider now. For that, I am creating one demo thing itself. Okay, so let me create a new class. I'm calling it as demo 2, because already I have a demo 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two classes. One is employee class, another one is manager class, and I'm going to use this concept for my demo today. First of all, let me create my employee class, because though I'm saying a manager, the manager itself an employee of the organization, right? So for this demo, I'm planning to consider the name of the employee and the salary. I'm not going to take any additional details. There are so many data associated with the employee. I'm trying to make this demo as a simple. So I'm planning to have a class called employee, and this employee class has two data, that is called, one is the name of the employee, another one is the salary will be some digits, so I'm keeping the data type as double. Okay, instead of int, I'm keeping it as double itself. So inside this, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create one constructor also, because to initialize the value and other things, it's better to have a constructor. So I am having a constructor, simple constructor here. This I'm planning to use just to initialize the values. So whenever somebody create an object with some arguments, then the name and salary will be set. So this is the basic constructor I have done. And one more thing, if I want to have a default constructor, that is without any input. So this is like two argument constructor, right? For example, if an object is created without any argument at all, then in that case also I have to handle, right? So I'm keeping it as simple. If somebody is calling without any object, I'm going to have the default value, that is the name is empty and salary is 0.0, because it's the double data type, right? So I'm making it as 0.0. And as I already told, it is good practice to call this data. It is not like directly if somebody come and access the data, it won't be good. So the best practice is using the getters and setters. Getters is nothing but get name, and get salary. We have some methods. Using the method only, I can get the values assigned in name and salary. Similarly, if I want to set some data, I should have set name, a method called set name and a method called set salary. Using the method only, I'm supposed to access the data. So that's what I'm going to do. So there are some shortcuts available. Instead of I'm typing it everything, I'm going to say that create the getters and setters. So once I create it, can you see for me the data are all available. I'm not going to type it. So it has created. What I did is I selected the particular variable and I right click, and there is an option in my IDE called generate. When I click in, it is asking me getters and setters. Not only getters and setters, even constructor if you want to create some more override concept and all, which we are going to discuss now. So those and all, instead of you are typing this, your editor itself will generate and give you. So I'm clicking on getters and setters. What is saying is it is asking me whether you want this getters and setters for this. Okay, I have already created for name string, so I don't want that. I want this for the salary alone. Okay, right click. Okay, for salary I think already created. So name I have to create it. Okay, salary already get salary and set salary is created. What I will do is I will copy this code and I will keep it at the bottom so that it will avoid confusion. So after constructor, I will keep this getters and setter for get salary and set salary. Similarly, I'm going to generate this code for the name also. Right click, generate. If you want only getter, if you want only setter also you can do. I want both the things. So name string I want, and once I click on it, immediately the particular code is generated. So again, I want to keep my code a little bit neat, so I'm keeping this code at the bottom, getters and setters. I'm not keeping at this particular place. I'm going back. At the bottom, I'm adding this getters and setters for name. So it is doing nothing. Whenever somebody calls with get name, it will return the name. If somebody say that set name with the input, it will set the name into that particular variable. This is what it's doing. Done. But now one more method I need here. What is that method is I want to set the salary for the employee. See, I told for managers we have to give some bonus. Okay, but at the same time we have to give some salary to the employee, right? So that also I have to write a code. And for salary, it is like with hike. We are planning to give a salary, that is the year end, you know very well, once in a year we used to get some hike or something, and that hike also we are planning to add here. So I just want to calculate, I don't want to return anything, so I'm saying that raise salary, one method I'm planning to add in the employee class. So for every employee, the percentage is not going to be same. For one employee, they will get a single digit. Some other employee may get a double digit, whatever maybe. So if I get an input about the percentage mentioned for the particular employee, I'm going to do a simple calculation. That is, they have a salary already, the basic salary. That will be multiplied with the percentage, this year percentage means obviously divided by 100, right? So I will calculate the increase in the salary, that I will add it with my existing salary. This will be my new salary. Okay, let me repeat the simple max calculation, nothing but you itself will do, right? If somebody say that you're already getting some 10,000 rupees and your hike is 10%, means what you will do? You will apply the 10% on the 10,000 rupees and you will get some number, and that is 1,000 rupees, right? That 1,000 rupees you will add it to your existing salary 10,000. So altogether your new salary will be 11,000 rupees. The same thing I have given. You have a salary already available. On that salary, I am doing this calculation, that percentage calculation, and I am adding to the salary. This will be my new salary going forward. It can be any percentage. So that's why I'm taking that as a input. So my employee class is over. Now I'm going to have my manager class. Okay, so in this manager class, I'm going to declare this class as manager, and employee. So this is extends keyword I'm using, right? Even before that, yeah. Why I extended is, for this manager, I'm going to give a bonus that I know. But the manager itself, I employee only. So obviously, I need the data of the name of the manager, the salary of that manager. So ultimately, it is the employee database only, right? Whether he is a manager or is a tech lead or team lead, whatever may be, he is basically an employee. So the employee data is needed. Instead of I'm duplicating the strings here, like string name, um, something like this, okay, string name and double salary here. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to use the data from the employee class. So I'm extending here. And on top of this, I have only one additional feature for manager, that is bonus. Apart from the regular thing, this manager is going to get a bonus. So that alone I'm going to declare here. All other things like regular employee, this manager is also going to get the salary with a hike. That is for sure. So that is doing. Now I need a constructor here, right? So constructor means what and all I'll be initializing. So simple thing, I need to initialize the name of that manager. I need to initialize the salary of the manager and also the bonus. The three things I have to initialize. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to say something like string n comma double. Yes, so N stands for name, S stands for salary. Just some short notes I'm using, because if I use the input also salary and that instance variable also salary, it will be confusing. So I was using like this. For bonus, I'm using the short form of B. So inside this constructor, what I'm saying is, I'm saying like this: name equal to the instance variable name equal to N, the instance variable salary equal to S. This is normal, simple initialization, nothing complex logic. If you have any doubt, you can ask. Okay, so now this is fine. Again, for this bonus, I need a method like the getters and setters I've already added in the employee, right? Here also I'm adding this. So I want to generate. So here I don't want both getters and setters because I'm not going to set it. I want to, sorry, I'm not going to get it. I'm going to set it now. So I'm using only the setter. So set bonus I'm adding, and that particular code is ready for me. Okay, this code is also available for me going forward. If anything needed, I can very well call this method. So I have added a constructor. I've added the setter method here. Any doubt in this so far? Great.
No, Yuvi.
So now, step by step. Okay, good. Thanks for the confirmation, Srini. So step by step, I'm going to gear up because if you stuck somewhere, if you feel challenging, please stop me there. Because this is a little bit tricky. So I try my best to make you understandable. If still you can't understand, stop me there itself. I'm happy to explain again. So now my classes are ready. Employee class is there. My manager class is there. In demo class, I didn't add employee classes there. That's it. Coming back to this, I have initialized my name and salary in the manager class, right? So here, instead of doing like this, I'm using this extends keyword. So it means that manager class is my subclass, and my parent class, that is my employee class, is the other name is subclass, and this superclass. It's just a naming convention. So what I'm going to do is some of the advanced level of whatever code I have is also correct. the advanced level we are going to use. Nothing but instead of doing like this, okay, I'm saying that name equal to n and salary equal to yes. I have something like this, right? Instead of this, the similar code you would have seen in the employee constructor also. Same thing I've done. So look at this line number 45. I was doing like name equal to n and salary equal to yes. The same thing I have done in my employee class also, the line number 8, 9, and 10. I was doing the same thing, right? I get some input and that input I'm assigning. So our usual slogan is reusability, right? Why I should duplicate the code, go for the reusability. So what I have to do here is, what I'm going to do here is, instead of these two lines, I'm going to use the constructor of the base class, constructor of my super class. And you can very well ask me, just now you told that you cannot use a constructor, how we can access it? Everything cannot be inherited, you told, right? So how I can access it? That means, yes, there is a way to access it, but it's not directly with the name of the constructor. There is a keyword available. Using the keyword, I'm going to access the constructor of my super class, which is nothing but super keyword. Using this super keyword, I can access the constructor of my parent class. I the super class or the base class, whichever name we want to give, we can give it. So now, instead of repeating this code, instead of, see, for our demo, I just use two lines, right? But in the real time, so many things we'll be doing in the constructor. So those logics, if you feel that instead of duplicating, you can very well use the base class information, the constructor thing, using the super keyword. The super keyword is meant for this accessing your base class, your super class constructor. As usual, I'm passing two arguments and it will assign to it. This is point number one. So because in your interview, if you come across what is the need of a super class or how you can access the base class constructor, means you can answer like this. Okay. If you change the name and salary as private, that is, you cannot access directly, so you have to use the constructor of the base class to do. You can ask me that why I need to go for the constructor. I feel this code is really simple. Why can't I use this code itself? One simple thing is, say for example, I'm keeping the old code itself. I'm going back to my base class. I'm by default the access would be public. Okay, unless and until I don't type anything different, by default this name is access this public access control, and now I'm going to make it as private. Both the things I'm planning to make it as private. Okay, so this is also a private, this is also a private. If I have a private data, I've told you cannot inherit it. You see, it started showing me red in color. It's saying that I cannot access the private data of the parent, so I have to modify it. But still I want to access, right? It's saying that name as a private access in the employee class, so you cannot do. So you have an option that you can create a local variable. Local variable means in manager class also you can create the variable with the same name and same salary. So you can have one more variable declared here, but I'm not going to do it. I still want to access the data from the employee class only. So I'm saying that I'm going with the super keyword. So you can see what is the need of super keyword. One is to avoid the duplicate. Second thing is to access the private data. This is the correct way to do it. Okay, this is done. Next thing is, I was adding a code in the manager class just to set the bonus, right? And now let me run a code, and I will show you the concept of polymorphism also. I think we have time, we can cover that also today. So now in this demo, I'm going to create one main method, and I'm going to create the objects for this. Object E1 is nothing but new employee, And for this employee, I'm setting that the name of the employee is employee 1. Some name I can give. And he gets a salary of some 35,000 rupees. Just I'm taking the least number. Okay, not match. And I'm going to say that the new salary I have to get it right. So I'm going to call the method called raise salary. So I'm planning to raise the salary. So some 10% I'm giving. So now I'm printing the value of simple code, nothing complex. So this code I did. So now I will explain you. This particular line, what it will do, it will create an object. At the same time, it will call the constructor to set the value of the name and salary. So in my memory, there will be a field called name. There will employee 1 will be saved, salary that 35,000 will be saved. Then what is raise salary? So I'm going to raise salary. In raise salary, I calculate the and the value calculated again. It is saved in the same variable in the memory. Previously, 35,000 was there.
UV, we are not able to hear your voice.
Manager is 32, and some salary I'm giving for this manager, some number, random numbers like 40,000. For now, set it. For now, the bonus. Now I have a method called set using the set bonus method. Getting say 20 I'm giving as bonus. This is not percentage. This is some 20,000, 10,000. So that number I'm giving. Now I'm going into the print statement for this. Okay, I want to use the get salary. Okay, so I'm calling this get salary to get the salary of the manager. So the name of the manager is employee 2. He has 40,000 rupees as the salary, and particular manager. I'm running. The bonus is not added. The salary is added. The bonus is not all displaying in my screen. In the manager,